Who has sent out a tweet today? Good. Oops, and a post on Facebook. Have you done a post on Facebook? Yep. And have you looked on YouTube? No. It's there's a whole new world sort of around us. Yeah, and as you just mentioned, it's fascinating. Just to give you a few stats, over 1 hour of video is being uploaded on YouTube every second. That is just almost beyond comprehension. Yeah, 3 billion likes are being done on Facebook every day. Yeah, that's it's out there. Yeah, and there is, for so many businesses, it is something out there. But what do we do with it? Yeah, and hopefully in this presentation I can share a bit my thoughts and my views on how you as an association can take benefit of it, and particularly on the monetization. Yeah, there's some really good ways for an association to monetize through social media. Personally, I believe associations are one of the best type of organizations to use social media. And do you know why? Because you have one of the C's of social media. If you forget everything what I talk about in this half hour, just fine. But please remember the 3 C's of social media. The first C of social media is content. It's all about content. Your event is content. Because if you have good content, people will come back to you. So they're part of your community. So the second C is community. And guess what? You all have communities. But you have them offline. Your big opportunity is to start engaging with them online. Yeah, so that's why I believe there's no better place than associations to start using social media. And the third C is campaigns. Use campaigns like events, like marketing campaigns, like promotions to actually grow your communities. Yeah, so remember that, the 3 C's of social media. Now, who am I? I'm Mark. I've been in marketing for over 25 years. The last 10 years in sort of online marketing, and the last 5-6 years of that in social media. And it's the biggest change I have seen in my professional career. Yeah, and I'll come back to that in a sec. It is. I have not seen a bigger change. And the change is like when I was in my car with my son, Tim. He's 18 years old, and he is my sort of indicator of what's happening in social media land. I took my iPhone while we were waiting for a traffic light, and I checked my email. And Tim looked at me and said, "Dad, are you still using email?" He sent 1 email last year. For him, it happens all on Facebook, and it happens all on Twitter. And remember, these are your members of tomorrow. Yeah, so think about that. So it's the biggest change. And I felt like, hey, I have so much experience here. I always say my differentiator is my gray hair. Yeah, because I'm not a techie. I'm not a nerd, but I've been in your seat. Yeah, I've been a marketing director. I've been in sales. And so I can relate it to the social, to the business issues that you have. So I said one day, and it's now 18 months ago, I'm going to quit. And I'm going to start my own thing, what I really want, and that's to share my expertise. So I started to run training sessions in my living room in Reading for local businesses that I met through local networking. And soon I moved sort of that from the living room to the boardroom. And then I met my current business partner, Mark, also Mark. And together we've started Love Social Media to share our passion on social media and train businesses on how to use social media. Train marketing people, train HR people, train associations, train sales teams, because every part of the organization is impacted with what you can do with social media. Okay, now let me start with showing you a short video. Can you all see that? That's what you should tell your director if he asks you what's the ROI of social media. Will my business still exist in 5 years? Will my association still exist in 5 years? And there are plenty of examples. Look at Blockbuster, the video company. They did not move on with the time and they didn't go in the online. They're gone. Recruitment agencies, if they don't reinvent themselves, they're going to be gone. PR agencies, if they don't reinvent themselves, they're going to be gone. Because it's a different world out there. The influencers of today are no longer the journalists. They're the bloggers. So if you don't know the bloggers of your industry, and there's particularly in your business, people blog. Yeah, I'd rather go to a blogging site with advice on my medical problems than go to either a journalist or a comparison website. Yeah, so think about it. And the other thing is also given the ROI. Yeah, one of the things that we just saw on one of the slides, reduction in marketing budget. That's the big, powerful beauty of social media. It's free. All the tools. Yeah, I run a 3-day workshop on how to set yourself up for social media. All the tools that I show in that workshop are free. So you can really save and be much more efficient in the way you can win your members. Although your time is not free. And it takes time. It takes effort. And it takes dedication. Okay. So much for the video. So with Love Social Media, to stay in love terms, we have a process which we call flirt. Social media is about flirting with the customer. It's about flirting with your prospective members. And when they become a member, you're in bed with them. Yeah, so then you're in bed with your customer. But first it's about flirting. And there are 5 steps, and this applies to everybody. If you're for social media, for a small business, for a big business, yeah, for within your organization, for an association. Step 1 is focus. What is your strategy? Why are you on social media? Step 2 is listening. The beauty about social media is you can listen to what people are saying about you, saying about your problems, saying about your product, saying about your services. You don't have to become a member of Twitter or to sign up for Twitter to listen to what people are saying on Twitter. You don't need to sign up on Twitter to tweet. You just listen. It's a very powerful listening tool. You listen to where your clients are, where your influencers are. You listen to what's happening in the marketplace. And based on that, you select the social networks that you want to be on. Whether you want to be on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. And I'll go in a bit more detail in a minute on those. Once you've set it up, you've got your messages consistent, you've got your branding consistent, you've got your campaigns, you're then going to reach out. Social media is all about reaching out. Consider your website your palace. Your Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn is your embassies. And then you create outposts where you're reaching out to people in the field. So they go from the outposts into your embassies to your castle. Because in the end you want them to go to your website to sign up. Yeah, so keep that analogy in mind. And then obviously you need to measure. Yeah, how effective and successful are we in this? So let's go into this in a bit more detail on your strategy. This is why I love social media. It's the biggest change I have seen. It's no longer getting somebody to sign up or sell. It's about connecting with them, building an online relationship, moving the relationship that you already have with your subscribers or your members in the offline world, bring them in the online world so you can continue the discussions with them. It's from large campaigns to small acts. You no longer need to advertise in a newspaper, or you need to buy a mailing list to marketing directors in England in this particular sector. On Facebook, on LinkedIn, and soon on Google, I can now target men between 55 and 65 years old, yeah, who just had an illness, or as long as they sort of put that in their social profile, yeah, or are golfers, or are sportsmen, or whatever, and only they will receive the advert. Yeah, so from big campaigns to large acts, small acts, much more efficient. From controlling the message to being transparent. You're no longer in charge of what you want to say. You might think you are, but people, they don't care anymore. They're much more interested in what others have to say about you. And depending on how much in the public domain your brand or your association is, the more likely that will happen. And there's plenty of examples where businesses did not listen. Yeah, they did not listen. They were trying to control the message. When BlackBerry had this problem last year when you couldn't use BlackBerry Messenger, they did not listen online. And then they realized too late, oops, the whole world is talking about it, so let's put a video on YouTube, which was just horrible. I don't know if you ever saw that video. Their market share, their market valuation dropped by 25-30%. Not only because of the social media, but because of the culmination of things. O2, on the other hand, had a service problem earlier this year, late last year. They listened. They put a team of 20 people and they were responding to tweets individually in a conversational manner. Yeah, which was a totally different approach, and it worked for them. And then from being hard to reach to being available everywhere, which is key. Why do you expect your customers to come to you? Why don't you go to them to connect with them? Yeah, I had a problem with my broadband at home, so I had to call BT. It took me half an hour to find the telephone number on the BT website. Calling it, your call is important to us, busy signal. After 30 minutes, somebody finally picked up, and then I heard you dialed the wrong number. You have to dial this number. Do you recognize that? It's horrible. Nowadays, if you have a problem with BT, you just tweet about this. Yeah, and you say, what's your problem? And you add hashtag BT or hashtag whatever. Yeah, and the good companies, they will respond to that straight away. Because they know we are where our clients are. From hard to reach to being available everywhere. That's why I love social media. And that's what I'm trying to sort of train businesses in making that clear. Because this is not about technology. This is a generational change. Okay? So, the most important thing for the strategy bit and the focus bit is to define your goals. What are your goals of your social media? Do you want to generate exposure? Do you want to get more traffic to your website? Do you want to get more subscribers or more members? Do you want to develop yourself as an expert? Yeah, social media is really good for developing yourself as a thought leader, as we say. Generate leads, getting better search engine results. Also very important for your social media is to define your keywords. Yeah, if I ask you, can you summarize your business in 5 words? And does everybody in the company say, yeah, those are the 5 words? And interestingly, what you should do, go to your, define for yourself, what are my 5 words? Yeah? And then go to a website called Wordle, wordle.com. And you put all the words from your homepage in wordle.com. And it will create kind of a map of the most important words that it sees on your website, on your homepage. And then you should see if there's a match. And I guarantee you, with many companies, there's a big mismatch. First of all, they don't know. Second of all, they do, then it's not consistent. Yeah, so think about it. Also for your social media, those keywords are very important. Yeah, in your profiles of your Facebook or your Twitter, you need to have those keywords. In your blog post, you need to have those keywords. In the titles, you need to have those keywords because Google likes that, will give you a better search engine ranking. So what does that mean for you? Your strategy as an association, get new members. Pretty obvious. You need new members. Through social media, it's the cheapest way to get new members, I think, for you. To promote your events. Social media and events, they go hand in hand. Because through social media, you can connect with your members or the visitors before, during, and after the event. Yeah, and you can ask questions during the event through Twitter. Yeah, you can have discussions or debates with the speakers before or after the conference. You can really promote your event, very powerful. Increase engagement between your members. Through social media, members can connect with each other and they can share experiences. So basically, the learning experience during the conference or the event that you organize, you can continue that online in a discussion group. Get ideas for new events, for new initiatives, for new programs. Share knowledge and enhance your communication to your members. So lots of objectives that you can define for yourself and think about those and put some numbers against them. Here is, by the way, association.com. I don't know if this is just one, but I don't know if it's a competitor, but I don't think so. But they actually have web solutions for associations. You need to my advice to you would be to build your own Facebook. Yeah, and you can create through a site like this, you can build Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube on steroids, as I say. Brand it completely to your own environment. And here is your monetization. Yeah, people can just visit the site for free. Members can go in and have a basic service. And if they want to have the full service, and want to have the full information, they need to sign up for a monthly fee of 10, 20 or 30 pounds a month. Yeah, that's how you can monetize through social media. You could do advertising on the site as well. Yeah, so you then get a pay-per-click sort of fee. Yeah, so you have your sort of suppliers in your industry, they can advertise on your site. Every time they click on their advertisement, you will get a percentage per click. Okay, next step, to listen. I think listening is one of the most exciting parts of social media. Because by listening, you learn. When I get into my office in the morning, I don't switch on my email. I switch on my online listening station. And I'll show you the listening station in a minute. How much time do you spend per day on email? More than 2 hours?
Potentially, yes.
And you know the question I always get from people in my classes? I don't have time to do all this social media. And I say, but you do have time to do 2-3 hours of email. And you create folders, yeah, and you drag emails in folders, and you have to make decisions which folder am I going to use. Stop doing that. Because with the search in email, you can access every email that you want. You just could make a folder by month or by quarter, because you always know sort of that email came in somewhere earlier in the year. Yeah, stop those. If you're on Google email, it's even better now. It's so easy now. The search is so powerful. And half of those emails are, you're copied in on them. Yeah, you have to read them. It's such a waste. I think in 10 years, 15 years, we will look back and we say to each other, remember good old email? Yeah, like the fax, it's gone. Huh? Yeah, please. So my advice to you is chop half an hour of your email and spend that on listening. Yeah, and you listen online to your favorite news websites. You listen online to your favorite bloggers. You listen online to trends. You listen online to your competitors. You listen online to your members. And you respond to them. You get into conversations with them. Yeah, that's the power of listening. Because when you listen, you learn, you understand, you start sharing, and you start building a relationship. In your market. Who are the top 10 bloggers writing about your particular area? Because you can build relationships with them. You can learn from them. Listen to your keywords. Listen to trends in the market. Listen to what your members are saying. And use that knowledge into your in your social media strategy. I have to show you this site. This is really powerful. Let's see if I'm still on the web. Yep. If you just want to find out what's happening in the market. Okay. Go to newsmap.jp and it will give you can select by country, by topic, yeah, and the bigger the item, the bigger the news item on the web at the moment. Yeah, it's newsmap.jp, a very powerful site. So as I said earlier, instead of you having to go to all those websites, you let those websites come to you, into your online listening station. And the tool that I use for that is NetVibes. With netvibes.com, if you go to the free version, it allows you to enter a keyword and then it will create a sample dashboard for you. Yeah, and then you can sort of tailor that and register yourself. And then this is my social media station. This is my one tab with my social media, my own social media networks. A tab with my top 10 favorite blogs. A tab with news. A tab with search on Twitter, on my name, on Love Social Media, on other things that I want to follow and some of our competitors. So what I do in the morning, I just flick through these tabs. And in half an hour, I'm totally up to date. Yeah, and say, hey, maybe this article I want to use in my next blog post, or this I want to tweet, I want to share that with some of my clients. Very powerful. Okay? So what does that mean for you as an association? First, remember the question, where are my clients? If your clients are consumers, then they're on Facebook. Yeah, so if your clients are personal buyers, as it were, yeah, and that could well be that your clients, the majority of your clients are on Facebook. If they are in a B2B world, if you're targeting businesses, yeah, and targeting their employees with medical care programs, then LinkedIn is your network of choice. Listen online to your association's name, the industry you're in, and some of your key members. Your key members can be really important influencers. Listen to trends in your industry. Listen to them on Google, on YouTube, and listen to those trends to find topics for your next conference. Use Twitter to listen to your followers, particularly during events. There's no better way to listen to people during events, because they tweet, and it's a great way to build relationships with them on Twitter during the events. Good. That's listening. Let's look at integrate. Here is social media explained in terms of donuts. Twitter, think about I'm eating a donut. I'm eating a hashtag donut, in fact. Facebook, I like donuts. Foursquare, this is where I eat donuts. Yeah, when I came here this afternoon, I actually signed in on Foursquare, and then it picks up the hotel, because the hotel is registered in Foursquare, and then I've added that I'm here presenting at this event and connected it with Twitter, so it's on and on Facebook. So the fact that I'm here was on Foursquare, on Twitter, and on Facebook, just by sending out one message to all my followers. Instagram is another type of, kids like that a lot, is here's a vintage photo of my donut. YouTube, here I am eating a donut. LinkedIn, my skills include donut eating. Pinterest, here's a donut recipe. Last.fm, I'm now listening to donuts, and Google Plus, I'm a Google employee who eats donuts, saying only Google uses donuts, but that's no longer the truth. I think, and I'll come back to that in a minute, but Google Plus is one of the guys to watch. Because Google Plus is the social layer of everything what Google does. Yeah, you can no longer miss out on Google Plus, I think. But I'll come back to that in a sec. So, here's a bit more about the social networks. Facebook is still the biggest. Yeah, and not only because of number of subscribers, but people using it. As I said, 3 billion likes per day on Facebook. So if your customers are on Facebook, you have a ready audience. They're ready to deal with you, ready to engage with you. But, I don't know if you saw in the newspaper last week, Facebook is losing subscribers for the simple reason of privacy. People are a bit concerned about Facebook. Yep, Facebook was introducing advertising, and then was advertising in the news feed, and now it's advertising on mobile. There's a bit of a backlash. And a lot of those people are actually moving to Google+. Yeah, so think about that. But it is really good to have engaged users. ROI to make money through Facebook for your business is average. Twitter, stable growth. It's no longer number 2. Google Plus is the second biggest social network at the moment. It's Facebook, Google Plus, and then Twitter. By the way, in the top 25 social networks in the world, there are 10 social networks from China. So social media in China is even bigger than it is in the West. Users are very engaged, and it's really good to monetize. I run sales training, social media for salespeople, where we focus on Twitter for lead generation. Yeah, Dell sells $1 million worth of PCs through Twitter. Yeah, so it's really good to monetize. You then have LinkedIn, growth average users. One of the problems LinkedIn has. Who is on LinkedIn? Yeah, it's really good, but it was actually more like an electronic Rolodex. Yeah, connecting with people in the past, where now Google or LinkedIn has changed dramatically in the last year, just to get more people to engage with it, and which is growing. Yeah, so so it is very powerful in social media. ROI is probably the best on LinkedIn. Yeah, through the LinkedIn search, you can basically find anybody on LinkedIn that is on LinkedIn that can help you in achieving your business goals. Yeah, so lots of opportunities. Google Plus is the one to watch. Yeah, and I personally believe if you want, Google Plus is the new Google. It's Google 2.0. Yeah, it's a social layer over everything that Google does. So if you want to maximize your search engine results, then Google Plus is a must these days. And then finally Pinterest. Pinterest, if your business is visual, you have, for instance, photos of your events, or photos of medical installations, or whatever, around certain themes. Yeah, Pinterest is really good to capture the sort of the emotion in those visualizations, and it's one of the fastest growing social networks. People still struggle a bit to find the ROI on that. So quickly, Facebook. Here is Alzheimer's Association on Facebook. 373,000 likes. Now, what's the essence of Facebook? Remember, you are not allowed to use your personal account to promote your business. So Facebook said you have to create a Facebook page. And the whole essence is, in this Facebook page, you need to get people to like your page. As soon as they like your page, they will then see your updates on their personal wall. Yeah, so that's your sort of your opportunity, yeah, is to create a Facebook page if your customers are on Facebook, and then run campaigns to get them to like you as the first step in building that relationship from becoming a non-subscriber or a non-member to a member. That could be the first step in your campaign. Yeah, so you have big branding opportunities, you have applications, yeah, you have a timeline where people can go through the history of your business. It's really powerful. If I go to the Coca-Cola Facebook page, this timeline goes back to 1888. Well, Facebook wasn't around in 1888. But I can now engage with Coca-Cola as a Coca-Cola fan with content from 1888. As a fan is fantastic. Yeah, it's a whole new way of engagement. Very powerful. Twitter? Do you understand Twitter? No. Okay, shall we do a quick 101 on Twitter? How are we on time?
Fine.
Yeah? Okay, a quick 101 on Twitter. People, you follow people with Twitter. Yes, consider Twitter SMS on steroids. Because SMS is one way and then people respond back. Yeah, Twitter, it goes just interactive all the time. So you follow people. Those people send out tweets. So if you follow those people, you will receive those tweets. As simple as that. So if you follow 1,000 people, you're going to get a lot of tweets. If you follow 10,000 people, you're being bombarded with tweets. So you have to, that's lesson 1. Yeah, so be very careful in who you're following. People will follow you if they see a value in following you. Which means that the tweets that you send, they will receive. That's the whole essence of it. So you have followers and people you follow. And that's sort of a whole way that tweets go back and forth. Now, what makes Twitter so special? For various reasons. First, I can retweet your tweet. So if I follow you, you send me a tweet, I retweet it, he follows me, he will receive my tweet. Which means that one tweet can trickle down across the web to millions of people. When Bin Laden was assassinated, yeah, there was a guy near his house and he started tweeting about some things happening here. Yeah, and then it sort of started that it was Osama bin Laden. Within half an hour, 6,000 tweets per second were about that subject. Yeah, for 3-4 hours. Yeah, and all because of that retweeting concept. That's one. 2, what makes Twitter so viral? I can add a link to another website. Or I can add a photo and I can add a video. So all of a sudden, Twitter does not only become a messaging, but Twitter becomes actually a notification to somewhere else on the web. So if you have a really interesting article or a new blog post, yeah, or I tweet, yeah, click here to read my latest blog post about this. So I tweet and then people see, hey, that's interesting. So let's click on it, go to the website. Okay? So that's very powerful. But then the third, and that's the biggest reason, is called the hashtag. You may have heard of the hashtag. Yeah, the hashtag, we agreed here that the hashtag for today is Skills Seminar. Yeah, so if we would have all been on Twitter, although we are not connected, if every tweet that we sent would include hashtag Skills Seminar, if I then search on Twitter for hashtag skills seminar, I will see all our tweets, even though we're not connected. So we can still communicate through this without being connected. So, and then what you do during the event, you actually set a search stream for hashtag skills seminar, so you see the tweets live coming in. Yeah, you see conferences where they have a separate screen for Twitter, and you see the tweets live coming in. Sometimes you see tweets like, what's this guy talking about? This is a load of nonsense. You have to be careful. But very powerful. So the Egypt Spring Conference, the hashtag was Tariq Square. So people were fighting the revolution on the square with the hashtag on the iPhone in their hand, seeing, okay, now there's happening there. So they knew exactly what's happening where. Yeah, and then there were big posters on the square with the hashtag ID, there's the hashtag and the Facebook page. So social media is making newscasting much more interesting. Yeah, it was a good example, the Sandy superstorm. Yeah, where people were actually going to Facebook, Twitter, YouTube to get live coverage on the event from the people that were actually right in the middle of the event, the victims of the event, rather than CNN or BBC, which is sort of secondhand almost. Yeah, so I think there's a lot going to change through that. So that's the essence of Twitter. So when people say what's trending on Twitter, it's what's the hashtag that's being used most at the moment. Okay? So here is the same American Heart Association for Twitter. This is how a Twitter page looks like. Yeah, so you see here they've sent 8,000 tweets. That's how many followers, how many followers. These are the tweets. You can brand it as well. This is sort of your Twitter homepage. But to be honest, not many people go actually to the Twitter page to go to Twitter, to use Twitter. Because there's lots of tools on the web or on your mobile that are actually much better than the Twitter interface itself. Like Hootsuite is a really good application for that. Okay, and here's the Alzheimer's Society. Alzheimer Association. Yeah, the branding is really powerful. They can change this often here with photos. It's very engaging. Right, so what do you tweet about? Tweet about an observation. Don't tweet as a celebrity, please. Don't tweet about I'm having a coffee or I'm having a hangover, yeah, or I'm now going to the theater. For business, don't. Leave that up to Justin Bieber and what have you. For business, it is about value. It's content. So it's about something you see, something you read, something you feel worth sharing with your followers. You can tweet about events, tweet your blog posts, tweet your latest videos, retweet someone else's content. You can chat with people. Yeah, so lots of reasons why it's all about adding value to your content. LinkedIn. LinkedIn is oops, what happened to the LinkedIn slide? Oh, the LinkedIn slide disappeared. Associations are on LinkedIn as well. Yeah, so LinkedIn is very important, not only for yourself, but can be very important for your business as well. For yourself, it's important that you have an up-to-date profile. I call LinkedIn Facebook with a tie. It's serious. You can't get away with a funny photo on LinkedIn. You need to have a photo on LinkedIn. Yeah, your profile needs to be up to date. Yeah, so it's an all-star or something you need to aim for. Why? Because Google loves it. If you're good on LinkedIn, you have a good profile, people will search for you on LinkedIn or on Google, and your name will come up with your profile. Yeah, a few months ago, no, half a year ago, I got a connection request from a lady I did not know. And she said, Mark, I'm running an events company, training company in Dubai. Are you interested in running social media training for us in Dubai? I said, of course I am. So next day I was actually on the phone with her. And I said, how did you find me? She said, well, I searched for you in LinkedIn for a social media trainer and you came up. So 6 weeks ago, I ran a week's training in Dubai. And in June, I'm going back. In September, I'm going back. And now they want me in Egypt and in Saudi. Because of that one piece of good social media, I'm now going to have probably 30, 40,000 pounds business. Because of this. Yeah, so to me, that's a proof it works. Yeah, as long as you're consistent and your profile, whether it's your company profile or your personal profile, is accurate and up to date. Google Plus is the new kid on the block. Yeah, there are some really good features in Google Plus. Just a few to highlight. Google Plus main feature is what we call Google Circles. You know how difficult it is in Facebook to to target your Facebook posts because you have friends. Yeah, there is some segmentation you can do in Facebook, but basically if you send something out, yeah, then it goes to all your friends. In Google Plus, you can group your friends in circles. Google Circles. So I can have a Google Circle for members, for suppliers, for thought leaders, for you name it. And I create a post, and then it says to which circle do you want to send this. Very powerful. There are public circles. You can create your own public circle. Yeah, people can join your circle. And all that helps you in your search engine results from Google. Second feature is a killer one, is Google Hangouts. Google Hangouts is sort of Skype on Google, but much better. Skype is one-on-one, and there's no some video people as well. But in Google, you can create a Hangout with maximum 9 people, but you can stream it live on YouTube if you want to. Yeah, or you can copy it, yeah, and then make it available and stream it live, stream it after the conference. Yeah, so for instance, Obama, when he was elected president for his second term, the next day he had a Google Hangout with 9 journalists, which was streamed live on the web, and there were millions of people were watching it. Yeah, so you can for training is very powerful. Yeah, it's a whole, and again, it works fantastic with search engine optimization. And there's a lot more in Google Plus, but I'm not going to go. We're running a because I believe it's so important that on the 26th of May we're running a 1-day special on Google Plus for our customers. So if you're interested, let me know. And again in June and in July, because have a look at it. You can no longer miss out on Google Plus. So I just mentioned quickly Hootsuite. I mentioned the term earlier. Hootsuite, you bring it all together. Very simple. You connect Hootsuite with your Facebook, your LinkedIn, and your Twitter. And then you have your streams where you see everything that's happening in your social networks. But the power is you can also create your message and then decide, I want to send this one message to Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter or Google+. So it does it all for you. And you can schedule it. So I can say, okay, send this message at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning and that message on Thursday, 5 o'clock. Yeah, there's even a collaboration version that you can, if you need approval before you send your messages out. Very powerful. Then here is, I think, is a really good example of an association who knows how to do social media. It's the GSMA, the Global Social Mobile something. No, I don't even know what to say, but it's the mobile association, yeah, for mobile phones. They have, if you go on their homepage and you clicked on Interact Social Media, you get to their social world. Yeah, like connect with us in our social media through Twitter, connect with us through Facebook, connect with us on Google, so add us to one of your circles, see us on YouTube, find us on LinkedIn, connect with other members in our own social network, and check in with us on Foursquare. Really good example of how to use social media. And this is to my mobile world. Yeah, so this is your own social media network. Yeah, where you can have your own social sort of Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter on steroids. So what does this all mean for you? Be where your members are. Yeah, because otherwise it's a waste of time. Don't forget local, regional, foreign social networks. If you're also in the Netherlands, or members from the Netherlands or from Germany, they have their own social networks. Yeah, so think about that. So you need to be on those social networks maybe. And don't forget niche networks. There is, for instance, olderwiser.com for retired people. If you're targeting mums, there's Mumsnet. Huge. They are social networks in themselves. And then blogging. Very important. For me, the best way to get started on social media is to start blogging. For one simple reason. Remember the 3 C's. What do you do? What C do you? Content, exactly. It's the easiest way to start creating content. Yeah, I can have you all up and running with your own blog within 10 minutes. If we all have a laptop. That's how easy it is. And you have your own website. Yeah, I'm not going to go into too much details, but one of the blogs I found was the Alzheimer Org blog. Really powerful. So have a look at that as a reference. I'll make sure you get copies of the slides for these references. So what does that blogging mean for you? Start creating your own content. Use your blog to keep your members informed. The news release, the press release of today is the blog post. Build connections with your top 10 bloggers that you found in your listening stage. Ask them to be a guest blogger, for instance. use video podcasts, or use video blogs, or use podcasts. Blog around your events. Yeah, get multiple people to blog inside your organization. And then finally, video. Yeah, I personally believe that video is the best way, and that's driving social media, because it appeals to emotion. People love to see and to share. Yeah, so, and I think with your events, you should have lots of video content. And we're going to have a presentation this afternoon about video content. Yeah, so how to leverage that. And YouTube is a social network in itself. So it's one of your most important marketing weapons. Use it to promote your events, capture presentations, share videos of the events, create your own YouTube channel. Some tips I'd like to give you. Okay? And that's it.
Thank you very much indeed.
Are there any questions about that?